Dear student, I, Dr. Shefali Jain, Assistant Professor, Tirthankar Mavi University. Today we discuss about Block 3 K change in equilibrium price due to shift in demand. In the previous videos, we discussed about the what is demand, meaning of demand, definition of demand, law of demand. Now, in this video, we discuss about a change in equilibrium price due to shift in demand. A shift in demand curve can be complex concept to understand. Therefore, but it is important to start with the basic of demand and equilibrium. To start this topic, first of all, we have to understood what is demand in brief. As I have also introduced you in the previous videos, what is demand. But here um, uh, I also explain in the briefly what is demand and demand curve. In general sense, to the terms, demand means the desire, the need, the wants, or the requirement for a commodity. In an economic sense, demand refers to the desire for a commodity. If any consumer wants to desire for a commodity, this desire is a combination of the ability and willingness to pay for it. It means the consumer have also ability and willingness to pay off it. Only desire for a demand is not enough. It should be the ability and willingness of to pay off this commodity. For example, the willingness buy a car but doesn't have enough resources to buy the same, so it's not considered as a demand. Demand can either individual demand or market demand. I have also explained it in the previous video. Market demand is the sum of individual demand for a given product. As you are seeing in here, market demand is equal to QDA and individual plus QDB plus QDC plus QDEF on. Any sum of factors that affect the demand and demand curve are as follow. Price of demand, any P. Taste and preference of the consumer, any it is indicate T. Income of the buyers, Y. Changes in price of related goods, T by. Advertisement expenditure, A. Taxes, X. Technology, H. And social and peer group influences, S. They are also given these other factors also. Demand schedule is a tabulation representation of the demand curve, that is a total quantity demanded at a various prices. It shows how much a customer is willing to purchase at various prices. However, the demand curve is the graphically representation of the demand schedule or a demand function. In the previous video, I completely explained all this, and here I have also explained it briefly. In this diagram, you can see here when the price is OP1, the demand is OP1. When the price falls OP2, the demand also increases Q2, OQ2. When the price become OP3, the demand also increases Q3. When the price OP4, the demand when the price falls OP4, the demand also increases OQ4. And so this figure shows that demand and prices has a inverse relationship. Now today in this topic we discuss the shift in demand. There are two types of shifts: contraction and decrease in demand, extension and increase in demand. First of all, I want to explain the meaning. What is the contraction? Meaning of contraction of demand: when the quantity demanded falls due to increase in the price, keeping other factors constant. It is known as a contraction in demand. There is an upward movement along the same demand curve. It occurs due to a increase in the price of the given commodity. Uh, just like what is the expansion of demand? Meaning of expansion of demand: when the quantity demanded rises due to a decrease in the price, keeping other factors constant. It is known as expansion in demand. There is a downward movement along the same demand curve. It occurs due to a decrease in price of the given commodity. Now, we also deeply discussion the contraction and decrease in demand and extension and increase in demand. I think you have also understood the meaning of the contraction and the expansion in demand. To understand in the detail now, we understood what is the difference between contraction in demand and decrease in demand. Contraction in demand. Contraction in demand and decrease in demand are cases to movement along the same demand curve and shift in demand curve represently. Now, when there is a fall in the quantity demanded of a commodity because of an increase in its price by keeping other factors constant. It is known as contraction in demand. It means, in simple terms, the demand for a commodity fall because of an increase in its price. Contraction in demand result is an upward movement along the same demand curve. With the example here, with the table here, as you see, when the price is 10, the demand is 150. When the price is 15, the demand is 100. And you can see in the figure, when the price is OP, the demand is OQ. And the price, when the price increase OP1, the demand decrease OQ1. It means that it is the contraction in demand. Yani when the due to the fall in the price, when the quantity demanded commodity increase, it caused the contraction in demand. Now we discuss what is decrease in demand. The demand when there is a fall in the quantity demanded of a commodity because of any factor other than the price of commodity. It is known as decrease in demand. In simple, let's see, it is also written here. The demand for a commodity decreases at the same level, the same price because of changes in other factors. A decrease in demand result in a leftward shift in the demand curve. As you see in the schedule, when the price is 10, demand is 150. And when the price is, there is no changes in the price, in the same prices, demand was automatically decrease. It becomes 100. And you can see here in this diagram, when the price there is no changes in the price. When the price OP, the demand is OQ1. Sorry, OQ. And without changes in the same level of the price, the demand become OQ1, and it is the called decrease in demand. Now we discuss about the differences between contraction in demand and decrease in demand. I have also, if the contraction in demand, I have also explained you. In the contraction of demand, you can see a fall in the quantity demanded of a commodity because of increase in its price by keeping other factor constant in known as contraction in demand. While decrease in demand, a fall in quantity demanded of a commodity because of any factor other than it means other factor resulting when the price of the commodity there is no changes of the when the price of the commodity is as previous as same and there is no changes of the price. So it is known as decrease in demand. Now effect on the demand curve uh, the effect of the contraction in demand is as upward movement. Upward movement, it is you can see here upward movement along the same demand curve. एक ही सेम डिमांड कर्व में it is move upward movement, but in the decrease in demand, the effect of decrease in demand is the leftward. You can see leftward shift the demand curve, and in the contraction of demand, there is a negative price effect. The demand for a commodity decreases when the price of a commodity increases. While in decrease in demand, there is no price effect because the price is same. Demand for a commodity decreases and the same price. Just like the contraction in demand, the reason, what is the reason to contraction in demand? The demand for a commodity contract because an increase in its prices. While what is the reason of decrease in demand? The demand for a commodity decreases because of unfavorable change in other factor such as increase in the price of the complementary goods, decrease in the price of substitutes, etc. It is due to decrease in demands. Now, you are also take an example of contraction in demand as if the demand of for a commodity falls from 200 units to 140 units. Uh, because of an increase in its price from 15 rupees to 20 rupees, that it is a case of contraction in demand. If the demand for a commodity X fall from 200 units to 140 units with the constant price of 15, the same price 15, there is no changes in the price because of changes in other factor like decrease in the price of the substitute goods, then it is a case of demand decrease in demand. Student, hope you completely understood what is the contraction and decrease in demand. Now, Friend, now we discuss about the expansion of demand. What is the difference between expansion in demand and increase in demand? Expansion in demand and increase in demand are cases of movement along the same demand curve and shift in demand curve perspective. Now, what is expansion of demand? Where there is an increase in the quantity demanded of a commodity because of a fall in its price by keeping other factors constant. It is known as an expansion in demand. In simple terms, the demand for a commodity rise because of a fall in its price. Expansion in demand result in a downward movement along in the same demand curve as you seen in the example. Uh, Now, expansion of demand, its meaning, as you see in the schedule, when the demand, when the price is 10 rupees, the quantity demand is 150. And when the price decrease and it becomes 8 rupees, the demand is 200. Now, you can see in the also figure, when the price is OP, the demanded quantity demanded is OQ, and the price decreases and it becomes OP1, the quantity demanded become OQ1. Students, when now we discuss about what is the increase in demand. When there is an increase in demand, the quantity demanded of a commodity because of any factor other than the same of the same price of the commodity, it is known as an increase in demand, where it means that there is no changes in the price. The price level is same and demand is increase. In simple terms, the demand for a commodity increases at the same price because of changes in other factors. Increase in demand result in a rightward shift in the demand curve, as you seen in the figure. When the price is 10, quantity demanded 150. When the price is at the same level at 10 and the quantity demanded is become 200. Now you can see in the figure the same level of the price OP, the demand for firstly the demand OQ, and without changing in the price level, the demand become OQ1. Now we also see difference between expansion in demand and increase in demand. I have also explained you about it, but now briefly I also make you understand what is the expansion in demand. Expansion in demand, it meaning an increase in quantity demanded of a commodity because of a fall in its price, keeping other factors constant, in known as expansion in demand. Just like a increase in demand, an increase in the quantity demanded of a commodity because of any other factor. When the price of the commodity is same, it is no increase in demand. Now what is the effect? The effect of expansion in demand is a downward movement along the same demand curve as you see in this figure. Just like what is the effect? The effect of increase in demand is a rightward. The demand curve shift rightward as you see in the figure. Just like both expansion and demand, there is a negative price effect. Demand for a commodity increases when its price falls, and in the while increase in demand, the price effect, there is no price effect. Demand for a commodity increases at the same price level. The reason, what is the reason of expansion of it? The demand for a commodity expand because a reduction, reduction in its price, as you see in the figure. But what is the reason of the increase in demand? The demand of a commodity increases because of a favorable change in other factors such as decrease in the price of the complementary goods, increase in the price of the substitute goods. Now, I will also give an example of the expansion in demand and increase in demand. Expansion in demand, suppose if the demand for a commodity X rises from 200 units and 270 units because of a fall in its price from rupees 15 to 10, then it is a case of expansion in demand. Now, I will also give you an example of the increase in demand. If the demand of a commodity X rises from 200 units to 270 units with the constant price, same price of 15, because of changes in the other factors like increase in the price of the substitution goods, then it is a case of increase in demands. Now we are also see briefly contraction and expansion in demand. You can see in this figure when the price has from OP area to OP2, it has increased. From the demand OQ and it becomes OQ2. This is known as contraction of demand. Just like when the price falls OP and to OP1, and demand rises from OQ to OQ1. This is known the expansion of demand strand. In this video, you have completely understood what is the expansion of demand, what is the increase of demand, what is the contraction of demand, what is the decrease in demand. Thank you, Strand.